a little trip with me, and hopefully you can see how the hood, suburbs, and Main Street are all connected. Enough respect, I mean, we network across the globe, cause it's a global market in case you didn't know. And since we all about information flow, let me be the first one to welcome you to Tech Zone with Paul Amadeus Lane. Let's talk tech, cause technology changing the game. It's all good in the hood, it's everywhere. Now let's get to the show, cause we live on air, yeah.
Hey, welcome to the Tech Zone. I am Paul Amadeus Lane. I'm your czar of technology, and I'm so happy to have you with me on this show. We got some incredible guests, some incredible topics. So sit back and enjoy the ride. Remember to always connect with me on social media, paulamadeuslane.com. You can check me out at ABC News KMET 1490. You can check me out on YouTube, all those great places, and the best place to go to find me, paulamadeuslane.com. On our show today, we're going to be talking about Comic-Con 2017 in San Diego, their premier cosplay event where there's a lot of things that's going to be going on, from tech to different entertainment things happening. And in my third segment of the show, I'm going to be joined by a very special guest who's going to talk about the upcoming things we are going to find out at Comic-Con and just the Comic-Con experience. So you don't want to miss that. What's all involved in a CTO's life? Well, what is a CTO? Well, if you are into the tech world, that's the Chief Technology Officer. Really like the Scotty of the enterprise. They keep things going. Captain, I don't know if I can give it all she can handle. That was a real bad impersonation of Montgomery Scott. And I know that was sacrilege for me to do that. But we're going to be talking to a CTO of a very successful company. We're going to find out just the balance of what technology to implement and what technology to or not to implement, and what to do in situations when you get feedback from customers as well. But first, we're going to be talking about right now diversity in technology. There is no secret that women in technology is underrepresented. And then when you throw in women of color, the percentages really get low. And this is why I really tackle this issue ad nauseum sometime, because I want the world to know that there are some talented women out there. And if you add them to your team, it can do your organization a world of good. And many women out there that are at the forefront of help spreading the word. One in particular, Samara Lynn, who's a digital manager over at Black Enterprise magazine. Aisha Bo, who is the CEO of STEMboard. All ones we had on the show talking about what they're doing, not only to bridge the gap of diversity and when it comes to technology, but also helping the younger generation to focus on STEM education. My next guest who's going to join me is also in that fight. And they have an amazing event happening in my hometown of Long Beach, California, coming up in August. And joining me right now is the founder of this great conference that's happening in Long Beach, California, my hometown, Wonder Women Tech. We're talking about Lisa Mae Brunson. Lisa Mae, how are you?
How are you, Paul? I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, and thank you for joining me. And I think what you guys are doing is totally amazing. And for some of our viewers and listeners out there who may not be familiar what you guys are doing over there, well, why don't you talk about what kind of made you want to put a conference like this together and really focus on women in tech? Because we know reports show that women in tech is very underrepresented. So why did you decide to do this?
Absolutely. Well, I'm so passionate about women, underrepresented demographics. I'm about as underrepresented as it gets, and when you check the boxes. So, that's always been a true calling for me ever since I was little. I wanted to make an impact in the world. I wanted to utilize media and technology and all the best the digital world had to offer to be able to, advance opportunities for women and the underrepresented. And so I've done like a lot of social innovation campaigns, from photographic campaigns to hug campaigns to creating hackathons for social good. And that work really inspired me to take this a step further and, beyond creating a hackathon event, what powerful discussions can we engage in? And so, I was invited by the city of Los Angeles to work with them and create an event. It was supposed to be a one-off event, and Wonder Woman Tech was born from the work I was doing with Wonder Woman Hacks, my hackathon, and Hacks for Humanity, another hackathon that I did. So, as I was putting together the event with my team and talking with women and men from all over the world who were saying, gosh, we need this voice, we need this platform, keep going. I really realized that I stumbled upon something when, there were so many stories being shared and people wanting to share solutions and ideas and conversation. So, it really became very clear to me that we needed to continue to do this work. So the one-off conference became a full-fledged ecosystem where we are, really dedicated and committed to highlighting, celebrating, and educating women and the underrepresented across STEAM industries, which includes the sciences, technology, engineering, the arts, which are so important, as well as mathematics. So we get to, really take STEM a step further.
That is so true. And looking at the way that we see how education is run in this country, per se, if we look at other countries, it looks like that our children are kind of behind the STEM curve. Because if you go to Germany, if you go to all these other countries right there, they're really teaching children STEM at a very young age. And what your organization is doing, especially at this event, you're inviting some of these young ones, these school-age children, to really get immersed in STEM. And let's talk about that.
Yeah, when I was little, I wanted to be an astronaut. And I was the first kid to raise my hand to dissect a frog, and play with, all kinds of science fair projects and things of that nature. But it didn't, that love and passion didn't really get fostered when I was young, because who knows, I could be, in space right now with Virgin Galactic or something.
That would be pretty cool if you were.
So that didn't get fostered. As I've grown and done other things in life, I've been invited in this work to work with Microsoft YouthSpark and do some career development workshops. And talking with these young kids, they're saying, oh, I want to be a lawyer, and oh, I want to be a teacher, and there's not really a lot of young kids that are saying that they want to, be a technologist, or they want to, be the next Einstein, or, invent the next, mobile app. And so while I was doing this work, I saw kids wearing like gaming shirts, and I said, hey, do you know that you can build your own games? And they were just truly fascinated by that. And, I wanted to make sure that within this conference model that we were setting up, that we allowed opportunities to teach the future, generation. Like, let's teach them how to code. Let's ask Microsoft to provide, gaming workshops. Let's talk to Google about, hey, can you lend us loaner devices and allow these kids to learn STEAM and STEM curriculum. We'll partner with organizations to make sure that we have those tools and resources in place. And fortunately, we've been able to do all of that since day one. So, we've taught hundreds of kids things from building games, how to code, entrepreneurial, workshops, and they just absolutely love it. So I've made a commitment to make sure that we do that in every conference and event that we, do moving forward.
And that is truly awesome, because I know someone else who's in the tech field just like yourself, and that's like, she's like paying it forward for the younger generation, saying, I want them to learn about STEM. I want them to learn about these different jobs out there that they can do. talked about designing your own video games. And that's a huge industry, because I remember when I was growing up, my mom would always say, hey, quit playing all those video games. It's a waste of time. I know some guys who are making 7-figure incomes who are video game designers. So it's
absolutely.
Yep.
Have fun and do what you love. Take that passion to the next level, because you really can do that.
That is so true. And when it comes to the event that's taking place in August, you have a pretty extensive lineup of speakers. And when it comes to putting on an event like this, how important it is to really have a full spectrum of different topics to discuss so that it meets everyone's need.
It's really interesting because, again, building a conference wasn't my first calling. It's just something that I've naturally segued into through my work. But I've been able to bring something very unique, I think, to the table with regard to creating some dynamic programming. We've gotten such amazing reviews and response for our programming, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that, number one, I don't like going to conferences. I really just don't. I love learning. I love getting new resources. I love hearing speakers, but a lot of times it can be really dry, or it doesn't really have this great flow, and obviously lack of diversity. Lack of people that look like myself, that I can't relate. So one of the things that my team and I have really focused on is making sure that we hit that mark in terms of being truly diverse and inclusive. So this means, a true representation of those of us that are on the team. We represent people of color, people from different countries and cultures. We represent deaf and disabled right here in my own team. And so we wanted to make sure that our voices were heard and represented within the programming and thus carried out, globally. So we have speakers with various backgrounds, from technical to the arts to, social innovation, building prosthetics for people to learn how to walk. I mean, we really just wanted to make sure that this was dynamic programming, that you'll find something different than you would go to the typical tech conferences that you'll see. I mean, there's enough of those. So let's build something that's going to have a different culture, a different atmosphere, but that people can still get on board with, no matter what industry they're in or where they are at in the food chain. So that is incredibly important, and I think programming is something that I'm always going to have a personal hand in, because I just want to make sure it has that specific touch, that Wonder Woman tech touch.
And Lisa May, when you said something, mentioned the disabled, my ears perked up, because of my followers and my listeners, they know my story. I've been a quadriplegic for over 20, almost 25 years. Wow, time flies. But and if it wasn't for technology, I wouldn't be able to have the career that I have today, be able to cover different things, be a broadcast journalist, and be able to do certain things. And when it comes to the tech world, I don't think a lot of people realize just how technology, as we live into the age of the Internet of Things, how much it touches every day of our life. And if we're not using technology, we're being left behind.
Yeah, it's so very important to make sure that we're teaching accessibility consciousness to developers and those that are able to create products and inventions and apps and platforms. We've partnered with eBay to teach an Accessibility 101 workshop, where they're going to talk about how to create, products and platforms that are accessible to all. People that are deaf or hard of hearing, people that aren't able to see, folks that may not be able to understand certain aspects of technology. This is an opportunity for people to build with them in mind. And I don't think that that's always at the table.
That is so true. And Lisa May, when it comes to, let's say, the startups out there, we live in a world of startups. We can just keep it real with that, because everybody has a startup company. I get like 1,000 emails, no lie, about a week about somebody having a startup company. How does your organization help steer ones in the tech field when it comes to startup companies to really make sure they understand their vision and that they try to be successful as possible?
I'm so passionate about startups because, Wonder Woman Tech is technically still a startup. I have launched a number of startups And I know firsthand the struggle. I know the struggle. I know what it's like to not have enough funding. I know what it's like not to have enough resources. No one wants to listen unless you're, the Googles of the world, or you have like some revolutionary idea that's going to become the next Apple. So, but that doesn't invalidate the work that you're doing or what you have to offer. And so, what I've really focused on is creating opportunities for startups to be able to be part of the conference. So we have Startup Alley with, opportunities for people to have their booths at no cost to extremely low cost. We make sure that they have tools and resources. I get emails every week from people that are asking, hey, do you know, we're looking for the next CTO, or we're looking for, some tools or resources, or do you know a VC that might want to hear, from us? And so it's really shaped the way that we've approached how we're building this ecosystem and how we create programming that's going to, really benefit the founder, the female founder, the underrepresented founder who's looking to take their business to the next level. How can we have some tools and resources and workshops at the conference that's going to be, accessible for them? So those are definitely, opportunities that we provide in the work that we do. And I'm always going to have a heart for those startups.
And Lisa May, it sounds very exciting as we're talking about some of the things that's going to take place over a 3-day period, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. So this year, we're exploring our tagline. So it's Innovate, Empower, Ignite. So on Friday, we're having a day of innovation. That's not to say that we're not going to weave in our talks about women in tech or underrepresented or D&I, but we're going to really focus on some really cool stuff like VR, AI, robotics. We've got the Amazon Alexa team that's going to come out and talk. And so we're going to really explore women in gaming, as we were talking about gaming earlier. So it's going to be a really cool day of just interactive technology and focusing on that technology aspect. For Saturday, Empower, we're focusing on, career development, leveling up. So that's a messaging that we're doing this year is like, how are you going to level up? And so this goes for, individuals, companies, and things of that nature. So we've partnered with Amazon to produce a diversity career fair where we're going to have companies there looking to hire and diversify their workforce. So we're very excited about that. We're going to have CV review workshops. We're going to have mentor sessions. We're going to have roundtable discussions and workshops, again, focused on, career development and also teaching corporations how to build diverse cultures. So we're going to really dig deep into the D&I conversation. On Sunday, we're really going to take a step back and really reflect on all the great work that and all the great conversations we've had over the weekend. We're going to have a day of just tech-style talks where influencers and women in tech and these great storytellers are going to come together and share their stories of triumph and journey and inspiration to really wrap up the conference in a great way and allow people to walk away truly inspired and armed with tools and resources to go out and be change makers on the planet. And interspersed with all of that, we're going to have a cool VR happy hour where people will come and be able to explore a range of cool VR experiences. We're going to have a launch party, which stay tuned for the details of that. We're going to be announcing that next week. We're going to have a mommy lounge because we really want women in tech who are moms to be able to attend and bring their kids in tow. And I think those things are very important. And of course, the STEAM camps for our deaf and disabled. We've got a senior workshop that we're doing this year. And what's new this year with our youth programming is we're doing what's called the Stream Kids Expo. We've got a 16-year-old girl who's putting together this expo, hands-on expo with industry folks and kids to come together and learn about the industry. So it's going to be a really action-packed adventure that weekend, August 18th through the 20th.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Innovate. And
we're the unconference conference.
yes. I love it. And what you guys are doing and putting this together, it's truly amazing. And also, my producer screamed in my ear. I heard a rumor that you guys are going to have a career fair, and Amazon is kind of like behind it. Is that true?
Yeah, it's absolutely true. So, Amazon has been great partners to work with. They're new to the ecosystem this year, and we hope to work with them for years to come. But they have really, they wanted to do something special this year, and they said, we really want to get behind making sure that companies are diversifying their workforce, and what can we do together. So the career fair was something that we've put together. We're very excited to have it free and open to the public from 10 to 4 on Saturday. So folks can come with their resumes, register online first though, upload your resumes, and they'll be able to come in and explore. And the cool thing is we're going to also let the career fair attendees check out the expo as well. So that's a free little bonus for them to be able to get immersed in the Wonder Women Tech experience.
That is awesome. So Lisa May, let's talk about getting people there. How can we get them there?
Well, first of all, you can go check out the website, www.wonderwomentech.com. We are so active on Twitter, so you can find us, Wonder Women Tech. Also Facebook, Wonder Women Tech. And of course, if you want to check out, how you can get involved, you can email us at info@wonderwomentech.com. We're still, welcoming startups if you want to come exhibit. And if you're looking to hire, be part of the career fair. And, we're closed on the speakers, but we are going to be in DC later this year. So if you want to get involved in what we're doing, please reach out. We're going to be here for forever. I'm focused on really taking this global and to the next level. So we're leveling up this year.
I believe so. I think you guys are definitely on the right track. And I know this next question you probably get all the time, especially when you're being interviewed by a male broadcast journalist. I think you know what I'm about to say. You know what's coming. Can we come to the event, Lisa May?
Absolutely. This is a funny thing because, I know it's called Wonder Women Tech, and that's really just the tip of the iceberg. Men they're in leadership. They're 85% of the, equation in terms of holding those tech roles. So really, if we want to create change and we want to create solution and we want to increase the amount of women in those leadership roles, we need to work together with our male counterparts. So we have a lot of male speakers and men at the table who are advocating for us. And you better be at the conference because we really need you there. I think there's a lot to learn from our community. And, if you're really looking to be a change maker, whether you're a male or a female or a kid or a senior or a dog, no, don't be a dog, don't bring dogs. But absolutely, please come because, together we're the ones that are going to be able to be the change that we so wish to see in this industries.
Well said. And I want to talk to my male counterparts out there. We can learn a lot from women. They're very organized. We're not. I'm just saying, guys, don't make me lose my card, but women are very organized. They can teach us a lot. I've learned a lot from a lot of my women colleagues and everything that have made me a better person. So, guys, go to this event and definitely check it out. Lisa May, it's been an honor catching up with you and talking about some of the great things that you're doing. And, I wanted to ask you, too, in closing, we know that your focus when you went to New Mexico State was psychology. Has that helped you to run a company, the things that you learned when you were in college?
I think psychology, like understanding the inner workings of the brain and how people operate and what's, underneath, human behavior is incredibly important. And I think that's what's allowed me to do what I do best. I do something that I call fearless asking. It's how I've been able to leverage the tools and the resources working with governments and Fortune 500 companies and individuals and organizations. Like those are the entities in this ecosystem. And I think I've been able to do that through sort of understanding that human behavior or what is it that people really want? How can you be of service to people and organizations? That's the approach I take as I look at what is it that they need that I can provide? What are the solutions? And then let's work together to make those happen. So absolutely, I think that is incredibly a vital skill. And I use it every day.
Awesome, man. And I can tell you,
I'm using it right now.
I know. I was noticing that you did your homework on me, so that's why the way you acted. So you know how to interact with me, and people will reward you immensely for learning how to deal with me. So thank you so much, Lisa, for joining me, and looking forward to seeing you at the event. And keep up the great work. And let's give that website out one more time, because some of our listeners who live all over the United States and even throughout the world to listen to us, they can find out some great information out there. Why don't you give that website one more time, please?
Yeah, it's www.wonderwomentech.com. I do want to make one more comment. You know, Wonder Women Tech is a 501c3 nonprofit. So we do this work with contributions from our sponsors and really reaching out to the community. We provide so much programming complimentary, because we want everyone to have accessibility. We provide free tickets for those with no income or little income. We provide scholarships for folks that are so passionate about STEAM and their career development. And so we really, this year, are focusing on getting that community support and allowing us to continue these programs, because it really is a lot of work, and we are going global, so every bit helps. So we appreciate that as well.
Well, you guys are definitely, like I said before, definitely on the right track, and keep up the great work, and looking forward to chatting with you at the event.
Thank you, Paul. I'll see you next month.
I will be there. Big shout out to Lisa Mae Brunson joining me here on the Tech Zone. Make sure you go out to that event. We are planning to go out there to do some live reporting from that amazing event, talk to some amazing people out there. Make sure you go to the website and support them and get your ticket and check it out. No matter where you are, come into town. I cover the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. People come from around the world. So if you're listening, and no matter if you are in domestically or internationally, come on out to this event. You will not be disappointed. Hey, when we get back, we're going to talk about the life of a CTO and what's all involved with that here on the Tech Zone. I'm Paul Amadeus Lane. We'll be right back after these messages.